Last episode, we talked about the Brewers' supernatural advantage.
Huz Ghost Stories. Do all sorts of ghostly things. Talk local legends. And some ghost hunting. Stories we hope to live to tell. And give them to listen. Huz Ghost Stories. Huz Ghost Stories. We talk Tinker's Hollow to the beast of Delaware Road. Stories we hope to live to tell and give them to listen.
Welcome, folks, to another fantastic, sporty episode of Huz Ghost Stories. I am your host, Reiki Master and Medium Andrew Huzar of Huzar Reiki and Readings. With me is the sultry Professor Alex Wheaton, our cryptid expert
you.
and paranormal enthusiast. And on the other side of this laptop is the one, the only, the GOAT himself, Dennis Rodman's best friend, Scottie Pippen's best man. Michael Jordan owns a pair of his shoes. Captain Tyler, our everyday normal guy.
We're talking golf, aren't we?
So,
Love
We're-
titles.
one more episode in our sport run for now.
One more?
For now. We might come back, but there's, a secret episode
Oh.
after this one. But,
Ooh.
as always, click the link tree to go to the merch store everywhere the podcast is available. Go to the socials. Make sure you're going to Paranormality. Go in to vote for us. Check out Ghost Stop if you want to buy some cool equipment. You can use our code there to give us a little kickback. And make sure you check out our friends over at Erie All-Star Wrestling. I really don't want to take a super kick from John McChesney, so make sure you're supporting them, or else one of us is going to get put through a table, and I don't have the spine for it anymore. I have scoliosis, and it's just...
You do not.
You're right, I have poliosis. It's just not working out in my favor anymore as I get into this old age here. But, Alex,
Yeah.
if I had to ask you what your favorite basketball team was, who would you say? And I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
The Knicks?
You are wrong. You would definitely be a Flint Tropics fan. Tyler, same question to you. If you had to pick a favorite basketball team, who would you pick? And I'll tell you if you're right or wrong.
The Harlem Globetrotters.
You are 100% right on that one,
Oh.
my friend. You are a Globetrotters fan through and through.
I forgot about the Globetrotters.
People that know me know I am a Cavs fan, a Raptors fan, and also a fan of, whatever team's doing well in my childhood. Cheered on the Lakers, cheered on the Bulls. I was a bandwagon kid
That's fair.
because I didn't know much about basketball.
Except for football. You were Dolphins kid through and through.
That's not the sound a dolphin makes. They go. Today we are focusing on basketball, and before anyone says anything, I do not own a basketball jersey, so yes, I have a Bobby Boucher Waterboy football jersey on. Is this jersey from the movie? I'm not going to tell you if it is or not, but as far as you know, it could be, might not be. Maybe Tyler got it for me. I don't know. You don't know.
You're right, I don't know.
Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's topic. Last episode, We talked about the Brewers' supernatural advantage at the Pfister Hotel. Now let's talk about one for the Oklahoma City Thunder. When opposing teams travel to play the Thunder, there's one place they absolutely hate staying at: the Skirvin Hilton. One of my favorite players, Meta World Peace, had one of the more famous encounters. According to Meta, he was lying in bed watching a movie when he started being touched all over. He knew the legends of the hotel being haunted, so he just let it go, figuring the ghosts would stop. They didn't. The touching continued and even escalated to the point that Meta told reporters he was violated. He was very freaked out, but said he couldn't move. The ghosts were holding him down and having their way with him. His other teammates reported other strange phenomena, including flickering lights, strange noises, and more touching. The next day, the Thunder beat the Lakers 113-96. In 2019, Tim Hardaway wrote in the Players Tribune that Meta told him the story when he was a rookie, making his first trip to Oklahoma City. Tim didn't believe a single word of it since he didn't believe in ghosts at the time. His experience started with something a bit minor. After unpacking and setting up his room, he noticed his toothbrush was moved to the other side of the bathroom sink. He double-checked to make sure nobody else was in the room, and it was just him. Later that night, as he was lying in bed, he heard footsteps outside of his room. He tried to ignore it because it's a hallway at a hotel. There's going to be people around. But then he started to hear screams and whispers coming from the walls inside of his room. He ran around the room, turning on all the lights, when the footsteps outside grew louder and louder. He mustered up all of his courage and threw his door open, only to find the hallway empty. A chill ran through his whole body. The next day, Hardaway and the Mavericks lost by 27 points.
In 2021, the BBC called the Skirvin the U.S.'s most haunted hotel. The stories from NBA players had become famous, but everyone that stayed there seemed to have a story. There are a few beliefs about who or what is haunting the Skirvin. The most famous story is that Effie, a former hotel maid, the story goes that the original owner, W.B. Skirvin, had an affair with Effie. Effie ended up pregnant, and W.B. was worried the scandal would tarnish his legacy and ruin his life. In a bit of desperation, he confined Effie into a room on the 7th floor. Even after giving at birth, Effie wasn't allowed out of her room. She grew depressed and eventually jumped out of the window to her death holding her baby. Oof. Over time, rumors most likely started by JB said Effie had an insatiable sexual appetite and killed herself because she couldn't beat her addiction. It's hard to trust W.B. Skirvin's story, but many men have claimed to have been touched by ghosts and even felt like someone was joining them in the shower. Unfortunately, there aren't any records of Effie, which makes sense if WB did want to cover up what happened. Effie isn't the only ghost roaming these halls, though. The hotel's first manager is said to still haunt the hotel after shooting himself there in 1913. Well, rumors said it was a suicide, but the police at the time believed he was murdered. A giant Old West-style gunfight even broke out at the Skirvin when it was discovered a roulette wheel had been rigged.
There's no telling exactly how many ghosts call the Skirvin their home now. Famous visitors include Elvis Presley, Paul McCartney, and multiple presidents. While experiences differ, everyone says they felt something was off with the Skirvin. Is Effie really still walking the halls and accosting all these men? Or did something more sinister and unwanted happen to her, and now her spirit seeks revenge on men in general? What happened to that manager? We probably won't know the answers to these questions. But one thing we do know is that whatever ghosts are there call the Thunder their favorite NBA team.
Gentlemen, what are your first thoughts?
This is the second suicide by gunshot in a place of business.
It is.
That is all I want to say about that. It's odd.
Also,
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, if you're going to mess with an away team, Feister, take some notes. That's how you do it. You guys won the next day. Woo! I
Yeah.
mean, baseball's got 81 home games. You could really do some damage there. Sounds like Chucky Fleister needs to take a note or two from these guys.
For sure. And it makes sense how the Oklahoma City Thunder out of nowhere went to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
You know? They got these ghosts working on their side big time.
Every home game, they have an advantage. More than just the home done advantage.
So let's talk about Effie here for a minute.
Okay.
So immediately as I'm reading this, something in my mind was wondering, was this an affair or did Skirvin assault her?
Yes. Both.
Because to have her locked in a room
It's kind of weird.
is very weird. And like, if it was an affair, a man this rich and powerful could have paid off for silence or whatever. Like there was no,
That's what I was thinking too. Like, oh, you're gonna live in the countryside now.
yeah, like there's no reason to lock her in your hotel
Yeah,
unless you're gonna keep seeing her, I guess. But even then, like you could set something up, like
yeah.
so. That's definitely very strange to me, and I want to know the truth there. Because what stinks is there's no records of Effie, and in fact, we don't think Effie. They don't think Effie's her real name. Like that's just kind of the nickname hotel staff have given to the ghost. But like there are a lot of weird things happening to men there.
That was the piece that stuck out to me, was that it was men.
Yeah, and the only rumors are the ones that WB started about her, having low morals and being, very active. So like we don't know what's going on with that spirit there.
That's the phrasing of a man who was definitely hiding a secret.
Yeah. I didn't come on to her, she came on to me. Is what he's trying to say there.
Every time I've heard someone say that, it's not true.
Yeah. And there's other stories not from basketball players, but from like normal people that stay there too. And like men have like heard, like they've said they've heard a woman propositioning them. They've seen the ghost of a naked woman walking down the hallway and appearing in rooms. So it's very weird. And
how did you not include naked ghosts in this?
Well, it didn't have anything to do with basketball players. That's bonus. So it kind of makes me think of the movie Ghost Ship and the ghost in the red dress that is trying to lure the men to their death. And I kind of wonder, like, if her circumstances leading up to her death were so tragic that, like, now, like, she is trying to tempt men and harm them in some way. On the other hand, though, if her suicide, where her and her baby both died, were caused by an affair, is she coming after men that are having affairs, or she's suspecting of having affairs?
You bring up a very good question.
Is this an anti-hero?
Well, that's one way to look at it. I don't know. Look, I don't know. Since there's no since there's no recorded history of this lady, right? Only that of the story seems a bit off. But it seems like, to me at least, there's bits and truths in every little part of it between like the story and then like the hauntings. Like if she was some what's it called nympho, some who like sex. So if she was like a complete nympho, it would make sense that she's spooning with guests, male guests. But I don't know. I don't. But the whole locked away thing seems like maybe the Skirvin fella didn't think paying her off would be enough that she would still talk about it, which would
Yeah.
explain locking her away. And then out of depression of being locked away with a child, that she jumped to her death. And also, how is there no record if like she jumped publicly committed suicide?
I don't know. There's also not much record of the guy that was also shot himself, but could have
Yeah.
been murdered. So I don't know if Skirvin just was a grease the
Well,
wheels
I
kind
got,
of guy.
I got him pulled up here, and it says he's like an oil millionaire. So I mean, there's definitely a record.
Skirvin sounds like then he might be the kind of guy that would be willing to pay to make things go away.
Yeah, but I don't know what to believe. Fair thing of this is like at all angles. Because
Right.
if she was just molested, right, and like thrown in a fucking closet for however long, um, it's it doesn't. I would feel like if she was molested by a man, right, clearly WB Skirvin, that she wouldn't spoon and like cuddle with other. You know what I mean? I feel like there'd be something a little more malevolent there. You know, maybe if she was like just like causing chaos with only male guests,
Mm-hmm.
that would seem a little more par for the course. So unless it is like a bit of like Stockholm syndrome, but I think that's just too deep of a dive to get into for this type of thing.
He
What do you
brings up
think?
the very point of concern I have, and that is if it was a case of molesting and assault, would the spirit be cuddling up to men in the afterlife? It grief takes many forms. I would think that the violent way things ended and the bad relationship that it was, I would think that the spirit would want nothing to do with men. And like violently attacking or trying to scare off, that's one thing. But the spooning and like the molesting is a little weird.
Let's take a different turn here. What if it was a mutual affair? But what if what can happen, especially with an older man and a younger girl, she got more attached and she thought it was going somewhere else. Like, she was expecting to be made his wife and things like that. And that's kind of what drove her mad in the room.
Yeah, that would line up.
And so she's still got that mindset. So now she's just
She's looking
warming
for
up
a
to
man.
yeah. Which brings me to a question for our pal Tyler here. Tyler, a ghost
Yep.
cuddles up to you. What are you doing?
The ghost what? Cuddles me?
The ghost cuddles you, or the ghost is hitting on you. What's your move?
Well, not leaning into it, that's for damn sure. Kind of the same answer I've given the last 2 episodes on this whole friendly ghost situation. Well, you know what I'm not going to do? Jump out of the window.
That's fair.
So, middle of the night, got nowhere to go. You wake up, use the bathroom, and you hear whispers in your ear from like a woman. You don't really know what they're saying, but you just hear the whispers. Are you just going back to bed, or are you staying up all night now?
I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely be up for a little bit, right? I
Probably.
don't know. That's kind of weird. I don't know. I never imagined myself in that situation.
You never imagined yourself being hit on by a ghost?
No.
What kind of childhood did you have?
Right, I thought about that like 5 minutes ago.
Poor kid.
Fondled by the freaky.
Alex, we'll throw it over to you. Same kind of question here. What's happening if you start experiencing any of these things?
Well, that's where I asked my question that I have asked. How awake am I? Like, is this middle of the night I went up to pee and it just happens to, I hear it and I would just probably go back to sleep. But if I'm awake for it, oh, that's a different story. If I'm conscious and like mentally there when it happens, I'm probably staying up for a bit.
So you're getting ready to hop in the shower, and you see a ghost woman walk in the shower first.
First thing I'm doing is checking to see if she's actually still in the shower. If I see her in the shower, I'm freaking out. If I don't see her in the shower, I'll take the shower, and if she joins me, that's another story. But if she's in there before I get in there, I'm noping out of there.
Yeah, if I see a ghost trying to go into the shower, I'm probably not taking that shower anymore. I'm doing anything else.
That's why I said I'm checking.
It's not.
I imagine that in the situation, I'm already butt naked, getting ready to hop in. So that's why I'm checking. If she's in the shower, I'm not getting in there. I'm just like, nope, I'll be stinky. But if she's not in there anymore, then I'll logic it out and say, no, my mind was playing tricks on me. I'm taking a shower, but that's a quick shower. I'll tell you that much. It is like I'm getting in there. I'm doing like a one rub and I'm out.
Nope.
Nope.
I think I'm on Team Tyler with this one here, where I'm not even turning off the water. I'm just going to sit down, and I'm gonna be like, you know what? She can have her 20-minute shower, and then I'll go check it out in a little while.
Nope, not even that. I'm taking a fucking whore bath. Little cologne, little deodorant, and getting the.
Would you even turn the water off, or are you leaving? You're not even going near.
No water. Kind of flush it down the drain. None of that.
All right. So Tyler, I want you to put yourself in this situation I'm putting you in here. You have the shower ready. You see her walk in. You freak out, but you walk out, catch your breath, and think hey, whatever. My mind's playing tricks on me with the steam. You go in. You're like, you know what? I'm not really feeling it right now. You reach in to turn off the knob, and she grabs your hand.
Nope.
Nope. Pulling away by tripping over the side of the tub, landing, fucking wrapped up in the shower curtain, banging my head off the sink. I'm gonna wake up in an hour not knowing what the hell happened.
Yeah, that's a nope for me.
Hard pass.
That's definitely standard horror movie right there.
Yeah.
So Effie, manager, victims of the shootout. Do you think all spirits are active there, and they all just kind of get lumped in together, or do you think it really is just Effie? Because we heard the stories of just things happening and not being touched or fondled or anything like that.
Or maybe the other ghosts are fondling in Effie's name, so they can put so Effie can get blamed for it.
Fondling in the name of.
If it's the original, if it's the manager that had the affair with Effie, wouldn't that make sense? Drag her name down even in death?
It would. So, if Effie never existed, do you think the legend of Effie is causing the spirits there to act this way?
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't think so. I think Effie was definitely real. This is her acting out.
I don't know. I'm legitimately at a loss of words on this one.
Lot of moving part.
Very lot of moving parts. Supposedly, a room that she was locked away in is still there and is the most active of all the rooms.
Makes sense.
What would it take to get you to stay in that room, Tyler, for one night?
Booze. Lots and lots of inebriants.
So, you
Better
would
chance
stay...
of getting drunk and getting thrown in the room.
So, you're saying that you would gladly sign up to be
there's nothing
drunk
likely
in a...
about this.
You
No.
would gladly sign up to be
No volition.
drunk in the room of a horny ghost.
That seems like a bad idea.
Does seem like a bad idea.
I
don't know why you're signing up for that. I don't. So we'll put that one on the list to try to make happen. Alex, how about you? What's it take to get you in that room?
Overnight. Overnight, stay in that room. You got to pay me. I need compensation. I need money for that one. I would settle for no less than $200. And my night comped. I'm not paying for that room, and I'm getting paid $200 to stay in that room.
I'm
realistic. I know what I'm worth.
All right, that's fair. Yeah. All right.
I would choose to stay in the room, but here's the thing: I'm not sleeping.
That's why I said overnight. If it's overnight, that's a different story.
There's no chance of me letting my guard down in that room.
Yeah.
Huh. I'll investigate it. I'll hang with it. I'll try to contact Effie, but there's not a chance where I'm, taking a nap or going for a little night.
No. Not a shot. Not a shot.
No.
Now, if you wanted me to shower, not spend the night, but take a shower in the room and be vulnerable, $20.
That's a. So we got
no ghost.
So we gotta get down the road a chance to book that room, and I'll get you your $20, and I'll get you your case of booze, and we'll all take our turns in the room. I can see you're already not enjoying it.
If it makes you feel better, you can go in the room at the same time I'm in the shower.
She can't get you both.
Exactly.
That's pretty decent diversion, yeah. And you could pretend to be sleeping, so she'll, sodomy you. Sodomize.
Well, let's not jump too far ahead into spoiler territory now.
What now?
So Tyler, any final thoughts on Effie and the Skirvin Hotel?
Dark past. Dark history. There's definitely some negative energy going on there. I think I think Effie was real. I don't think this is. It doesn't seem like. I mean, I don't know. I'm just the everyday guy. You guys are the experts. I don't know if a ghost would go through this much length to drag a name down, even in the afterlife. Seems a bit excessive.
Yeah.
So I personally think Effie was real. As far as molested, nympho, affair, I think there's a little truth in all of it.
Over to you.
I think that's the best way to say it. A little bit of truth in all of it. Yeah, I that it comes back to some of the things we talked about in past ghost stories, past nautical episodes, past cryptid episodes. One thing that we've kind of come to an understanding and agreement is that there's truth to all of this. How much truth is up to interpretation, but I think yeah, if there wasn't such specific things with Effie, I would definitely be on the she never existed, but
Yeah,
guys,
absolutely.
there's
Yeah.
something about her story is sure that she's real.
And I agree with both of you. I think Effie was a real person, and I think that something is either muddled or the real truth is hidden, or it's a little bit of everything. There's too much there for Effie not to be real. And I don't think the full story is ever going to get out, whether it is a mutual affair and she became obsessed, or she was assaulted, or it was even just neither of those two. We don't really know, but I do think Effie is real. Effie is there. And I think Effie needs to be respected, but I do think that, maybe people need to be open to telling her no.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Huh.
Setting boundaries. Like, if you're going to the Skirvin and you're a man, once you get in your room, say, hey, you can't touch me.
RAPE, get your hands away from me.
Or you take your pants off, you lay down in the bed, face down, ass up, and go, take me in the universe.
That's Effie might be happy the most. But I think that does it here for us and Effie. Make sure you come back next time, because there's a very special episode that I am so excited for Tyler. So happy and can't wait. So
I'm looking
make
forward to it.
you like and subscribe and come back for more spooky action.
Is competitive fishing a sport?
That it
It
is.
is. They have tournaments.
And all competitive fishermen need to stay in the light.
I guess I never realized that. Yeah, there are fishing tournaments. My brain was like, are there fishing tournaments?
Look.
There are.
If they have their own video game, they're a sport. That's the
Whoa.
Yeah.
Badminton.
It's true.
It's an Olympic sport, actually.
The fuck?
Yeah.
Bowling.
Yep.
Ballet.
Yep.
Dance Revolution.
If figure skating's a sport, anything goes.
Ooh. I don't know. Yeah, I'll give you that. I was gonna fight that, but no.
If flag football is a sport and an Olympic sport, I think anything can be as well.
I think we should do away with flag football and make it full contact football as the sport.
I'd be all for it.
Is all this going in the episode?
Yep.
Notes.
We're gonna find out a ghost story from the Olympics for next time.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm sure there are some.
Have to be. Especially when they were in Russia that one time, or wherever, where everything was just awful.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say the fact that the Olympics have been going around since
The Greeks,
yeah.
the Mastodon ages. But I think that actually does it for this one. So we'll wrap it up here before we ramble on too long. Come back next time and stay in the light.